many people haven't assimilated and don't appreciate this incredible country that our founding fathers built, many of them are starting to regret living among white people and are pining away for a black
cities in the North and West. I suggest that Black people return to the states with the highest percentages already of Black people, where they can gain political power.
If we're going to make a go of it, the South makes a lot of sense.
This is obviously a pro-Black nationalist documentary calling for Blacks to just take over entire states. But if you're white, you just want to live amongst some fellow white neighbors in the suburbs, then you will be canceled.
Just get the people away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this.
That's the same argument that they're making promoted by a major multi-billion-dollar media conglomerate.
Every freedom is at stake.
There's some things in life that are bigger than you. It has to be about community success.
Has to be about Black success. Getting away from the white man. Well, adios. No, I'm not a white nationalist. I never have been. Richard Spencer has always been and will continue to be a gigantic douchebag. What I am against is forced diversity, artificial diversity. I am for free association. If this dude's not happy living around white people, then I wish him the best. In fact, he's doing all of us a favor. Thank you. But because of the dramatic demographic changes we've been experiencing in the United States recently, in large part to the invasion of tens of millions of illegal aliens that were encouraged, facilitated, funded to come here, a lot of people are wondering about the future culture of America. And Tucker Carlson is musing aloud some thoughts which you're not allowed to have.
Well, just on principle, like every other group in the world has the right to its own homeland except white people. Like what? Yeah. Like tell me, just explain to me how that makes sense. Either no group has a right or every group has a right. It's really that simple. And if you want to say no group has a right, okay. You might even convince me. I don't know. I'm not a race guy, actually, by my temperament at all. I'd kind of like to ignore it. But as long as some groups have a right to self-determination, then every group has a right. It's that simple. Yes. And if there's a special carve-out where one group doesn't have a right, you have to explain to me why that group doesn't have that right.
Yep.
Is that fair?
No, it's absolutely fair.
That certainly is a fair question. But as you probably know by now, Ben Shapiro has decided that you're not allowed to ask questions. In fact, he has already answered this question for you.
I want to talk about borders broadly in a minute, something that Michael and I have been talking about. But you said the Great Replacement. You said demographics are part of this. They're trying to change America from a predominantly white nation to a not predominantly white nation. And you've taken a lot of slack online for commenting a couple times over the years that you don't give a damn about the browning of America.
Man, that's
what
just
do you mean by that?
stupid.
I don't care about the race.
Why would I
ideology.
spend
But of course, Ben Shapiro's precious Israel must maintain its Jewish supermajority.
Needless to say, it's not $1,000 here in Mexico. I'll be right honest with you.
Prime Minister over there
You guys in the United
remove
States
a bunch of
whine
African
a
migrants
shit ton
from
bro,
Israel
a shit ton.
because they were
You know
causing
how
problems.
much $1,000
And in order to try to
cost
preserve
in
what's left
outside of the
American
United
culture
States?
as a mainstream culture, President Trump
Double.
did finally
It
designate
doesn't matter
English
where you
to be the
from.
official language
Double.
of the United States last week. We're
Yes.
just tired of people not
Double.
assimilating to our culture.
You guys whine
and
about
people coming
everything.
here and then complaining about our
Double.
culture and complaining about our
Anywhere that's
history.
outside the
And
United
even those people who have been
Double.
born here complaining about things that happened 150 years ago and hallucinating, imagining racism still around every corner. Like Congressman Al
Last year.
Green, who interrupted President Trump's address to Congress last week
7600 XT.
and then was thrown out. Well, he should have been arrested. Should have been dragged out. Of course, the reason for that wasn't because he was being disorderly. It's because of racism.
A note is that it's discrimination. And when the speaker decided that I would be removed, and then there was this motion, this resolution to censure, it became obvious to me that I was not being given as others were. And candidly speaking, it is discrimination.
This is the new narrative. He was kicked out because of discrimination.
Seems like a blatant disrespect for the House, and it wasn't coming from Representative Green. It was coming from the men behind him on the right side who were telling him and yelling, "Sit down." I mean, it felt like I was watching something in a history class of racists yelling at an elderly black man challenging the president of the United States.
But thankfully, we are making America great again, and the Black Lives Matter mural in Washington, D.C., right outside of the Capitol, or the White House, was removed yesterday on Black Lives Matter Plaza, which I'm sure will be quickly renamed as well. There it is.